What's going on, people? So I kind of like doing these videos, because it's easy. There's like no editing to really do. I mean, maybe I had to slip in like a quick picture or something here and there, but it's not like any of the other videos I do. So I just sit down, ramble a little bit or a lot of it. This month will be more of the latter, but this quarter will be more of the latter. And then that's the end of it, right? It's very convenient, right? The tricky part can be remembering some of the stuff that isn't here, right? Because I do buy my share of things, but I also buy a fair amount of things for other people, right? Not even all of this stuff is for me, right? But real quick, just to cover the things that aren't here so I can get that out of the way, which is why I have this here fancy Note 8, the Ocho as I call it. Some of you guys might remember this because this is how this whole channel started, being recorded on this thing right here. So, first up, there are some Rocco's Modern Life shoes here. The Rocco pair, I did buy a pair for my mother, right? So I got her, she got a 7. Yeah, she got a 7. The 7.5 is a little too big, right? So there's that. And then also for mom and dad, I got them both the Nova Blast 3, right? So I did do a video about that, but it hasn't been released or anything yet because it's like at the end of the chronological order. But they liked them, right? Long story short, so there's that piece of it. Other than that, though, there's a couple other things in here, and I'll just mention them when I get to them that aren't for me, like I said. But that being that, let's go ahead and get on into this, huh? Also, one quick thing, check it out, breaking out this new shirt. Not because it has anything to do with these, but it's related to like a video that I have coming up. So yeah, Insane Clown Posse, big fan. Anybody else out there a fan? Probably not. All right, stack number 1. This right here is going to be, there we go. It's the Kayano 29 in the light show colorway. It's like some kind of black and green thing, but you can kind of tell that, right? So since the Kayanos were kind of dying down as far as their production and whatnot, I figured now was like the time to get on one because I saw what they did with like the Nimbus 25 and I was like, are they going to do a similar thing to the Kayano 30? Let me go ahead and get in on these 29s while they're still around, right? And it's not like they disappear immediately, but I figured while the selection is still there, because once the price drop comes, that's when the sizes start disappearing. So you got to get in before all that. If you can find a discount, of course. Never buy anything like that full price. Up next, one of those Rocco's Modern Life shoes that I was talking about. So this one right here, they both look the same. So I'll just pull out the one with some green laces. This is the Filbert pair, right? Which I haven't even recorded anything about these other than this right here. So this is the first time of them being on the air, I believe, right? So either way, there's that. Pretty cool. I liked Rocco's Modern Life a fair amount. So when I heard about the shoes, it's kind of a no-brainer to pick those up, right? And of course, they did do 3 pair. They did a heifer pair, which I didn't buy, but they did also do this one. And so this one is the Rocco pair, right? I'd tell you what model these were, but I honestly don't remember. So this was the Rocco pair, and this is what I had said I bought a pair for my mom, right? So the weird thing about that while I was bringing up the sizing was she wears a 7 in like boys or whatever, but they had often in men's too, whatever. But I wasn't sure how like these were going to be, so I got her a 7.5, which was technically in the men's category, and I got her 7 that was in the boys category. And so I figured she'll just put them on and she'll tell me which one doesn't fit right, and then we'll get rid of it, right? We'll send it back, I'll say that. So that's how that played out, right? So I'll get more into the sizing and all that stuff whenever I do the thing, but just something to mention. All right, so that was stack number 1, on to number 2. So kicking off things with so this would be the Nimbus 24 Trail, right? Yeah, Nimbus 24 Trail. So I do like my trail shoes. I haven't really posted a lot on on my little Instagram thing or whatever about the shoes and such, but I have been walking around on the trails lately, breaking out the different shoes, and so I like to have a variety, so that's where these come in. And again, getting them before they start disappearing, because again, the 25 is out, so the 24 should be disappearing quickly, maybe. But either way, I like them. As far as running and stuff goes, I'll just say this because I never really did that full review like I expected to. I do prefer the Kayano over the Nimbus when it comes to running because the Kayano is a little more, it's a little stiffer. The Nimbus is a little squishier, right? and that's just a personal preference. They both come in at the same price. They're both built for the same thing, which is running. It just kind of comes down like, what do you want on your feet, right? What kind of feel do you want? Speaking of things that are squishy, these right here, this is the Nova Blast 3 in a trail colorway as well. I forget what they call it, nature bathing or something. I think that was the name of that whole series they were doing with the trail shoes. So either way, this, you'll be seeing another pair of these, right? Yeah. So I like them a fair amount, right? I saw these and I was like, you know what? This is pretty alright. I saw them in like the ad that they did where they send you emails and like, hey, buy our new shoes. And I'm like, okay. Right, so that's what happened. Because like they showed it and I was like, man, that does look pretty nice. I haven't worn them yet, obviously, but at least I have them. That's like the first part, right? So, what is this? I honestly don't remember. Oh, right. So this, if you remember what the Nimbus 24 looked like, this is a Nimbus 25. See, it's a little bit different, right? It's got a lot of stuff going on down in here. Wasn't really a huge fan of it, but I bought these. Are these the Comic-Con shoes? I don't remember. No, I bought these just for standard review. I was thinking about buying these for Comic-Con, right? But then things kind of played out a different way, and I was like, you know what? We're going to Kayanos, which you'll see in a minute here. So, moving on past that, we'll put these things back in the box. Okay. I don't remember if that was like off this stack or not. I'm pretty sure it was. Let's see what's going on in here. This is one of those Kayanos that I was talking about. It's in the amber colorway. It's got kind of like a mustard yellow in some ways, like depending on what color spectrum you subscribe to. Yeah, so basically yellow, some gray. I thought it was like a nice combination, you know? So I picked these up because I was like, you know what? This is the one that I want. So I bought these for myself, and that was kind of the thing that helped make the decision on like what I was going to wear for the Comic-Con thing this year. Because these, the Nimbus, I'm sure would have been fine, right? I just didn't want to. That's kind of what it comes down to. And, you know, comparing wise, you know, couldn't really talk down on them. I mean, comfort is comfort, especially when you're just walking. That's when things matter a little less about being so picky. This right here is the Thunder 4, right? So I saw this, and obviously this is mom's pair, right? So I saw these, and I wanted them a fair amount because I like black and yellow. I got nothing against 4s, but I also don't really like care for them at the same time. They're right there in the middle, like right in the middle. So I was like, you know what? I haven't had any bad experience with them, so let's do that, right? And I got my pair, luckily through, well, I'll tell that in a little bit. So that's her pair, right? I saw them online, DTLR, I believe it was. That's where I got those, because they were selling out faster than I suspected. When I got my pair, which came from a raffle in Foot Locker, or Champs, excuse me, a raffle at Champs. I was like, oh, okay, well, if I won a raffle, then everybody's going to win, right? Not so much, because these moved quicker than I thought, right? Either way, this is my pair right here. It's the same thing that you just saw, just slightly bigger, right? And when I say that, it's like exactly the same, you know? Because I did the little comparison, boys versus men's or whatever. Yeah, no differences, which is good, because sometimes I buy these like men's shoes and boys' shoes, and like there's some things in there that aren't the same, and it's like sometimes it's not okay, you know? You'll see that in one of these two. So next stack, whatever number we're on. First and foremost, right, because I'm a big Air Max guy, we have this right here. So this is going to be the VaporMax 2023 Flyknit Baltic Blue, right? So I was really into these, and still am. I don't mean to say that in a past tense like something has changed. No, I still feel the same way about them. I mean, that part's still kind of weird, but yeah, I really like what they did with these. So I'm not trying to oversell it or whatever. If you're not a fan of the VaporMax, it's not going to change your mind, right? But if you like the past offerings and you're wondering, like, is the newer one worth picking up? I would say it is, right? Actually, I did say that. I went on the record. So, because these are like basically the same thing, and I was just kind of talking about how stuff can be a little bit different, I'll pull these out real quick just to hit the highs. So one of the things for the most part is, I mean, you do have some red there and you don't have that over here, But the 3M on here, right, exists. The 3M on here does not. They just put this little foily yet silver stuff going on there. So that's one of those times when it's not okay, like I was just saying moments ago. But for those who are wondering, these right here, these are it was a DTLR exclusive, right? Which is still on the site if you're interested. And those are the lovers only, that's what they call that. So they did a couple shoes based off of like the DMV area, right? Which is DC, Maryland, Virginia, you know? Because I guess it's treated as one big whole to some people. And that was one of the, I want to say 3 releases. Don't ask me about what the other ones were. I got no idea. So, I'm going to set that there. Hopefully this stuff isn't in the frame, but it might be. It might just be. So, nice, right? Got a little silver action going on, some blue and some stuff. Got a little dirty thing in here. You got this bag for you, so you can put your shoes in. You know, like, these aren't even for me, right? I bought these for my dad because I bought my mom a pair of Adidas something or others a while ago. We got two pairs of laces in here, right? I think one is green and the other is some other color. I don't know. But either way, I bought her a pair, not of the same coloring, but similar, you know, because they were just white, but like still had all the vape stuff, the vape propaganda. And so I saw these and I'm like, oh, you know what? My dad, he's all into this like army colored stuff, camouflage. So I'll get him a pair and then they can both have some vape Adidas. And so now I just got to get these to them at whatever point makes sense. So this is some kind of, what is this model? I honestly don't remember. The Form 84 Low. I should have known that because I have like 3 or 4 of these. But either way, pretty cool. I liked them, right? They also had another pair that was, I'm not putting this back in the thing right now. They also had another pair that was blue, which I personally liked more, but I didn't go for them because I may have said this before, but I am not a fan of camouflage. Like, it's just not a thing I can get behind, you know? Nothing against the people who wear it, you know, it works out for some people. The Dudley boys, like, it really worked out for them, right? Not me, I'm just not the guy. Next to last stack, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is the fallout from that recent Yeezy Day thing, right? Which went pretty well for me. I got everything I wanted, which is the last thing you'll see in this stack. This I kind of wanted, but only because I wanted to get back to the sizing and see like how this felt if I went a size up or whatever. Good, it feels good. Looks weird and not all that great, honestly. Just the coloring is fine, but like the whole thing itself is just kind of a mess. But I bought these because when I got my green pair, these are foam runners. When I got my green pair, they didn't quite fit how I would have wanted them to fit. I went true to size like I do on every other slide style thing. I thought that would be like a slide style thing because it looks like a slide style thing. Didn't work out how I wanted it to, right? And I said if I ever get the chance, like, you know, I'll try out a size 10. And well, Adidas gave me the chance, so who was I to say no? Well, they didn't just give me the chance, they gave everybody a chance. I just was one of the few million selected, it seems. This is a Yeezy Slide in Onyx. I was trying to think of the color. Onyx, Yeezy Slide. Obviously not mine, right? Because it's significantly smaller than, you know, the shoes that I would wear. Because I'm a size 9 sort of guy, right? See that? That right there is the Asics Actibreeze 3D, which also is a review that has been recorded, hasn't been released yet. I'm wearing them for the next like week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or however many. So that way I can kind of wrap my mind around some things, because first impressions were not so great. Many impressions later it's still like okay, but we'll get to that eventually. This is the Beluga Carbon 350, which definitely, like if I was to re-record my top 10 350 things, like there's a possibility that I might put these in there. I'd have to go back and look at some things because I don't remember what was in it, but I do really like the way these came out. You know, they got the 3M laces and stuff, got some fancy orange popping off on the side. Yeah, it's just a good look to me, right? I mean, it may not be to everybody. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You know, keep doing you. Just continue to make your own decisions. That's what I always say. But me, the guy who spent the money so that he can put them on his feet, is okay with them. Last stack. Okay. Almost lost this top one. It's kind of light, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's why. So these things are like crazy light. Remember the SL20s? Probably not. I don't think anybody really bought those. I can't think of anything else that says light. But yeah, these are like, they look like they have some weight to them, but no, they really just don't. And that was the one thing my parents were like, kept talking about, like, they're so light. Either way, Nova Blast 3, right? This was the third pair. Well, I bought the 2 pair for my mom and dad, like I was talking about, non-trail standard issue. And so then I bought the 3rd pair for me. That's this one right here. We walked around in these for a day or so. I bought them a pair so that way they could kind of give me their perspective, right? Kind of helps with like the review things in some ways, right? To have other opinions. So overall, they seem to appeal to a lot of people, as I saw on the internet. So things ended up holding true. This right here, this is for mom. This is a Kayano 29 in champagne. I forget what the other color name is on here, slate gray. But either way, so picked these up for her. This is what we will be wearing to Comic-Con this year, heading off to San Diego. Yeah, look at that. Look at us doing big fancy things. So I liked the previous Kayanos, as I said before, and I feel like something like this would probably be like a better fit for, you know, all the walking we'll be doing out there over the Nimbus 25s. And so I got her those, which means that later on I'll probably get her a pair of the Kayano 30s, which came out yesterday on the 1st. And then I'll do a little follow-up of sorts, because I'll get a pair for myself as well. Also, and I'll be recording this review a little bit later today, right? So you got these right here. It's a nice 3M black and red, or red as some might say, kind of reflective thing going on for this Air Max Plus. So I do like these a whole lot. Like I was saying, when you hit the flash on there, you got a nice little shimmer and shine or whatever, like a brand new Hatchet. So I do like that. And I like the fact that I was able to get them for a decent bit under retail, because I'm a huge fan of that, you know? I'm also a fan of the Air Max Plus, and it's been a long while since I bought one. It's been it's been a long time since I wore one too. Does anybody remember that? The answer is out there. Go ahead and let me know if you happen to know. But anyway, so there's gonna be that. That's all of the stuff. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm gonna record some reviews on that and those right there, and then that'll be my day. Later, people.